You're backed by arguably one of the greatest of all time, right?
What are we rating ourselves on? What are we rating on?
Okay.
Well, we're gonna know. In the least amount of fights, you know, I didn't have to have 70 fights, or 150 fights, 300 fights. Did I not beat the most world champions?
Yes, you did.
Okay. And in the least amount of fights?
Yes, you did.
Who got the highest gate?
Floyd Mayweather.
Who made the most money?
You did.
Who was the most accurate fighter of all time?
You were.
So it's basically saying that...
The greatest of all time.
Okay.
All right.
And Terence "Bud" Crawford said, "I'd stop Floyd easier than I stopped Spence." The boxing world went absolutely wild, but no one took it harder than Floyd Mayweather himself.
Who do you think wins in a fight, you or Prime Floyd?
Me.
No questions?
Why would you think that I would say Floyd? You know, that's one of my favorite fighters. But yeah, nah.
Floyd's reaction hit social media soon after slick, subtle, and cold as ever. But behind the calm poker face, insiders say Floyd was furious. For the first time in years, someone didn't just compare themselves to him, they claimed they would actually beat him. And not just beat him, but stop him. Floyd heard Crawford loud and clear, and his response wasn't just about ego. It was about legacy, pride, and the uncomfortable truth that the sport he once dominated might now belong to someone else. Asterisk, 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 the clip that started it all aired on a popular boxing podcast just 2 nights ago. Terence Crawford, fresh off his historic win over Canelo Alvarez, was asked one of those dream match questions fighters usually avoid. If you and Floyd were both in your prime, how would that fight go? Crawford leaned back, smiled, and calmly said, "I'd stop Floyd easier than I stopped Errol Spence. He's great, but I'm greater." That one line sent shockwaves.
Yo, yeah, so if he was pound for pound, Floyd was pound for pound. You or Floyd, who would have done that? Who would have won that?
Me.
Oh, shit, okay, I'm just asking. Floyd was pound for pound before.
That would have been a hard fucking fight, though.
Man, me versus anybody, I'm gonna always say me.
Okay.
Come on now.
What really made people stop and think wasn't just Crawford's confidence, it was how believable it sounded. Because when you look at his resume, the way he dismantled Errol Spence and neutralized Canelo Alvarez, it's hard to call him delusional. Crawford isn't cocky, he's calculated. And deep down, Floyd knows.
You could take a guy like Canelo, this guy could do, he can pick and choose who he want to fight. And I'm gonna tell y'all the truth about Canelo. Easy, man. Cakewalk. Easy. Y'all sitting up here, y'all praising this dude. This dude was nothing. I was almost 40 years old when I cooked this dude. Easy. Y'all always disrespecting our fighters.
Live, only on DAZN, June 28th. Jake Paul versus Chavez Jr. Buy now at DAZN.com/boxing.
For years, Mayweather has carefully controlled his image. Every exhibition, every interview, every headline has been part of his plan to keep the spotlight on himself. But in 2025, that grip is starting to loosen. While Floyd is fighting Mike Tyson in a nostalgia bout, Crawford is out here making real history, building a legacy with every step.
Who do you think's better out of those two? Crawford or Mayweather?
I think Crawford is better, bigger. Like he's actually, he can move in weight class. And I would say Crawford is a better fight all around fighter. Mayweather is really good too, though. You can knock him as well. You know, he's very talented. It would have been a tough fight, but I think Crawford would have the edge over Mayweather because of the long arms and because he's bigger. You know what I'm saying? And he would have kept him at bay. It would have been hard for Mayweather to counter, maybe. But Mayweather's definitely a technician. I mean, like Crawford said, you know, Mayweather has his era, and Crawford, this is his era.
Have long said Floyd built his career on perfect timing, waiting out opponents, choosing the safest paths.
And I'm gonna get a lot of too, but honestly, there could be the way where you put Crawford over Mayweather. Because of going up, you didn't see Mayweather go up from 147 to 168. That's crazy, bro. And not even. And honestly, I thought Crawford was gonna have more of a hard time because he had a hard time with Madronov. So imagine going up to it. I mean, that's crazy. I mean, but I don't want to take nothing away from Mayweather. Mayweather's the greatest of all time. But I think that was a really big risk that Crawford took, and then he ended up winning. You know what I mean? So you have to give credit to that too. I mean, that's a big risk. That'd be like me going up and fighting Usyk right now, heavyweight.
I know that's been kind of hinted.
I'm not thinking of that right now. I'm not thinking of that right now. No, but that's kind of like how that'd be. You know what I mean? So you have to, bro. That's a lot of. He has a lot of balls to do that, and not only to go do that to show the world that he's really like that.
Sources close to Mayweather Promotions have revealed that Floyd feels disrespected, not because of what Crawford said, but because of who said it. Remember, Floyd built his empire on loyalty he discovered and mentored Gervonta Davis, built stars under his brand, and controlled every narrative. But Crawford, he never needed Floyd. He never trained under him, never signed with him, and never played by his rules. He became a superstar completely on his own, something very few fighters have managed to do.
Terence Crawford is the best fighter on the planet. Pound for pound, he's that dude. In this 4-belt era, he is now the undisputed world champion 3 times over. 140 pounds, 147, now 168 pounds, claiming all the belts. You don't see people doing that very often. Going up against a guy who was perceived as being bigger and stronger, Crawford was strong. Crawford was strong enough to fend him off, strong enough to make him respect his own power. He used his jab, he used his distance. He had poise in the ring, he wasn't rattled. He backed up and moved when necessary and kept us different. He exchanged enough to gain respect when necessary. It was a brilliant, brilliant, masterful fight on Terence Crawford's part.
And that's exactly what bothers Floyd. One insider said, Floyd sees himself in Bud, but without the control. Crawford is doing what Floyd once did, only without the politics. And that's the real problem. Floyd doesn't like being compared to his successor. He wants to remain the one fighter no one can replicate.
I beat this guy. It's his excuse. I beat this guy. You know, he's too young or whatever. So I'm never really going to give my full respect until afterwards. Yes, you know, it's a lot of people that's changing their narrative. Like, man, y'all watching something great right now, and we not appreciating it. And it's sad to say that we waking up at the tail end of his career. You know, we really didn't realize it until now when he's like doing extraordinary stuff, like going up 2 weight classes to fight the best fighter in that division, the #1 guy that's the face of boxing, you know. And the way that I handled that, people like, oh, man, something had to be wrong. Canelo had to be washed, or Canelo just wasn't in it. And I see people saying, oh, Turkey paid for Canelo to lose, you know. So I just think, you know, when you that much better than the competition, you know, people not going to give you credit until they sit down and look at it and just be like, man, that dude was good.
This debate divides the boxing world. Mayweather was the most untouchable fighter of his generation, a defensive genius, who made punchers look like amateurs. Crawford, though, is his opposite. He invites chaos and dominates it. He doesn't outpoint you. He breaks you down. One respected analyst even said, Crawford might be better than Mayweather.
Where does he rank now, all time? Ending this interview.
#1, and the only one that he got at top is Floyd. You know what I'm saying? Terence Crawford's this generation guy. You know what I'm saying? Accomplishing all the goals that he accomplished.
Matched up? How do they match up, Floyd and Terence?
Hey, I'm like this, man. It's going to be great because Floyd, he's about his work. He put in work. We've been watching it for decades. You know what I'm saying? Him coming out of retirement to do this fight, that's a win for the whole world boxing. Every generation from Floyd's generation to this generation to get to see it come. That's just like, we never get to see Michael Jordan play, right? But we remember when he used to play. Come on. So